Who are the Asur? An enigma to men and dwarfs, who know them as High Elves. At the center of the great ocean lies Ulthuan, a paradise created by the Old Ones. But when the stellar gates collapsed, demons flooded the mortal plane. All was lost until Anarion the Defender strode forth. The first Phoenix King vanquished the demons with the aid of the Archmage Calador Dragon Tamer. It was Calador and his elven mages who created the Great Vortex. A swirling maelstrom that siphoned the excess magic, withering demonkind. With the world purged of chaos, the elves took it upon themselves to become guardians and stewards. The twin-tailed comet is oft seen as an omen, but this time its wake brought great peril.
The dragon with two tails flies lower than before. Its trail disturbs the vortex.
I have felt a change in the winds of magic.
Then write it, brother. Lead the mages of Safari. Bring all in the White Tower to bear if you must.
Such lore is currently beyond us.
I suggest a scrying ritual in the Pool of Isha. It may provide us with the answer.
Such a ritual requires fragments of fallen waystones. Far more than we have.
Then we find more. Make ready your ritual, Lawmaster Talarian. You will have your fragments.
I shall start the search in Lustria.
Lustria?
My brother will search here, in Ulthuan.
Why do you care so much about the greater world?
Why do you not? Stay here, brother. Protect Ulthuan. But I venture beyond our borders.
And while you meddle in far-flung continents, I will ensure you have a home to return to.
Fellow Asur, rally to my banner. Ulthuan is under attack, and the Great Vortex imperiled like never before. The Druki invade us in number. No doubt Malekith or his twisted crone of a mother have sensed weakness in the Vortex. Their attack is blatant. They come directly for the sea gates of Lofern. The seat of the Phoenix King must not fall. Finubar has entrusted me to lead the counterattack. Join my cause, brave Asur, and together we shall overcome. The Druki cannot be allowed to despoil the sanctity of Ulthuan. Draw your weapons, and by Asurian's will shall we prevail.
Alright, finally High Elves. Holy shit, I've been doing like all these Let's Plays back to back. So essentially High Elves are very interesting in that they can do diplomatic missions and different objectives, and that gives them influence. That can allow them to basically gain favor with different factions throughout the game. Now essentially I'm just going to cut away a lot of the fluff here, but I'm going to build up some forces and then attack the Dark Elves right away on their little island city. Alright, now we are back. Holy shit. I always feel like I don't have much to say when it comes to the Empire management screen of things, but look at that beautiful fucking Phoenix. They really nailed the Phoenix with this game. Like, holy moly, it is beautiful, it's majestic, it has like embers flying around it. Also, when it died, I was kind of like confused, and then I realized I'm dealing with a Phoenix, so I don't understand why I was confused by this. When Phoenixes die, they fucking get resurrected. Masterofroflness, use your brain.
Understood.
But anyway, so there's not going to be much of an important battle here. This is, again, the first battle that you'll expect in Total War Warhammer 2, so this is a fairly easy battle, all things considered. However, what's interesting about this one is that I'll be using the Phoenix, and I'm just going to be memeing it up with the Phoenix and the Eagle Bolt Thrower, really. Because there's really not much I need to do here, since the Phoenix and the Eagle Bolt Thrower are really all I need. So first and foremost, you can have these guys at the single shot. Pretty good stuff, does a fair amount of damage, but you want to go into multi-shot if you're dealing with these lightly armored foes like these Dark Elves over here. So let's switch over to multi-round shot. Come on, Masterofroflness. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be absolutely devastating. The artillery in Total War Warhammer 2 it packs a punch. It packs a huge fucking punch, I gotta say. This Phoenix, however, is one of the greatest air units on the planet. As you can see, I accidentally dropped down a bomb. That is essentially, it's a raining poop thing that allows it to do damage onto the ground. So watch this. I'm gonna literally throw the bombs all over Berlin right now. Watch this. Oh, taking gigantic diarrhea dumps on these units. Does a ton of damage too. Just doing my strafing runs here and there with the Eagle Bolt Thrower still pounding away. This is how I won my first battle, just rolling around with my Phoenix. Phoenix and friends. Eventually all the morale goes away, and then I just swoop in with my Phoenix like, wheew! Such a pretty bird. Yeah, it was really easy. We won like super like fast, honestly. It was great. Great shit all the time. Look at it go. Look at it go. It's beautiful. I'm just having a field day with this thing. Now I finally go into cinematic mode. It's a little bit too late though. So all my like fairly fun units to play around with are kind of gone. That was pretty good, I guess. That was a good little like wing stretch or whatever the fuck he did. Anyway, let's go ahead and end this. Alright, so now we just have like a little bit of empire management, and then we get on to the battle yet again. There's going to be actually a big battle that happens right after this empire management one, so there isn't like too much like downtime with this one as opposed to what was with the Dark Elves Let's Play. For this like game, I'm going to try and be as diplomatic as possible, so beforehand I would try and go for diplomacy above all else to try and like get with a bunch of different factions. This one I'm going to use the diplomacy thing a lot more often, even with my enemies, because diplomacy is good, and getting away from unnecessary conflict is always the surefire way of ending your Total War Let's Play earlier, instead of like having it be like some super 90 part fucking like super Let's Play, and then you end up hating your life because you're still doing Let's Plays and it's been 3 months. Like, holy shit. Either way though, still some build up going down. We're going to eventually push out the Dark Elves from this entire area. And yeah, as you can see, this vortex is such a beautiful fucking like vista. This is the elven area here, this like High Elves area here that they live in, is such a like a picturesque area. Like, I know there's like, you know, battles going on, but still, this is very beautiful. It looks so Tolkien-esque, like with the mountains over here, the rainbows, the vortex over there. Great shit, honestly. Really nails it down. So I'm still like making some deals with various factions. If you get a trade agreement with a fellow faction, then you can actually like see whatever the fuck's going on in their empire, which is great. Amazing, actually. So I always get a little bit of knowledge on them. I was going to do the Rite of Isha, but then I realized that that's not really useful. Isha is not really useful for my current situation here. I would love to get the other leaders, but that's like for a different time, obviously. Still building up, still waiting out. Gonna see if I can get enough influence to maybe impress some like High Elves, because the High Elves, a lot of the other High Elf races are actually very aggressive towards you. Like, they do not want to be your friends at all. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know any of the lore in Warhammer Fantasy, but I'm over here and I'm like, what is up, my High Elf brethren? And then all of a sudden they just want to chop off my head, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what I did wrong, and I'm just a bystander in this game. I'm not really like part of the lore, the mythos, but you know what? It's whatever. Dark Elves want to try and do some shit. This is really weird. Apparently, like, you can't, like... this is like a little bit of a nitpick, but I would much rather like to do missions before reading all the objectives. Sometimes you just don't really care about this mission that gives you 500 gold or whatever. But that's just me. So yeah, not a big fan of fighting these High Elves, but I will probably eventually have to do it because a lot of them just are extremely aggressive and stuff. My bigger plan is to try and get as many allies as possible and have them like just fight it out for me, and then I just make them join the Confederation. I don't care, just do your thing. You know, I can't be asked to fight against fellow High Elves. So it's just like a bunch of improved relations here. And some of these are quite like funny, like, oh, I made a poem for this faction and they loved me because of my poem. Like, what the fuck? Or, oh, hey, I taught you how to curtsy. I don't know, some stupid shit. Elves are so dumb. Hate elves. Everything about elves is dumb. There's nothing cool about elves, besides their birds. Birds are cool. The cool birds, cool dragons. Yeah, I guess those are the only things, for me at least. Do they have all the High Elf units in this game? That would be very interesting if they left out any. Right. So, the Dark Elf army, you see it right over there, it's on the left side. Well, they're going to come across and fight back at the city that I'm besieging, while I'm also trying to get a second lord, which unfortunately the good lords cost like 60 influence to get, so I guess I'm not getting those lords anytime soon. I'm just going to have to get the free ones that are really, really stupid, like some that are just like, oh, 20% upkeep for all your units. What are you even doing that's creating 20% upkeep? Anyway, finally getting on to the battle here. Let me go ahead and just skip over the loading screen. There we go. There we go. Alright, nice, nice, nice. Still some flickering going down. Understood. Now, with the two armies that I have to deal with, I'm kind of surrounded. And this is going to be a shittier situation than the Lizardman one, because these are gigantic armies that are fighting against me. So I'm betting on the Phoenix to deal with one area, and the Eagle Bolt Thrower to deal with the other one. But it's hard. It's going to be difficult, actually. Especially since I end up fucking up my formations, like, quite often, actually. You're going to see that right here, like, twice or 3 times I do end up, like, fucking up my formations. Because I was, like, nervous and stuff. I just wanted to figure out what to do. Like, look at that. Look, first one, second one, third one, fourth one. What am I doing? What is Masterofroflness doing? I don't even know. Half the time, I don't even know what I am doing. So now they go behind, and then I don't even know what's happening. It's just a mess, really. It's a big mess. This contributed a lot to my initial misgivings. Like that, like initial phase of retardation is what's gonna really kill me. So eventually, I decided to get it together, and I formed these guys up into semi-decent formations. I'm obviously not gonna let the Phoenix get hit by arrows. Getting a Phoenix killed by arrows is really humiliating since it's made of fucking fire. Wait, are Phoenixes made out of fire, or do they just protrude fire? Is a Phoenix more like a Moltres, or is it like I don't know any other firebirds besides the Pokemon one. I'm sorry. I used to call her Firefucker. I used to never knew what Moltres' name was. Firefucker seemed like the most appropriate name for a Moltres. I don't know what's going on with the minimap. At least it's not like Rome 2's levels of lag, but like this is kind of like weird, the minimap acting like that. But I mean, this is an early version of the game, so do keep that in mind. This is a press build, so what you're left with isn't exactly like completely bug-free and stuff experience. End up not doing so well with the Phoenix, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I'm just gonna have all my units like focusing on the leader and try to hope to God that I can eventually kill him. Eagle Bolt Thrower is still doing damage across that army over there, which is good. The problem is that there are 2 leaders, so just killing one of them isn't enough, which is a big fucking problem. So I end up routing this leader, but it doesn't matter. And then remember, like I said in my Dark Elves Let's Play, which you can obviously look at, unfortunately, the more units of Dark Elves kill, the more advantages they get later on, so it's really not helpful when these Dark Elves get supercharged over here. And this is going to be another one of those battles where I don't zoom in that much. I do plan to zoom in a lot more often in the future parts of this Let's Play. But I already have like recorded parts of the Skaven and Dark Elves, so that probably will still have, and Lizardmen, so those parts will still have like majority zoomed out, which is unfortunate. I'll try to do what I can though. Over here, I'm trying to figure out what to use my Phoenix for, because the Phoenix is going to be the key here. Everything else can die, but if the Phoenix lives, then I still have a shot. Because it's a gigantic bird monster that can fly around and kill things. Unfortunately, this Spearman squad wants to kill the Eagle Bolt Thrower. It's going to succeed, which is unfortunate. And as you see now, the Dark Elves are getting supercharged a little bit because they've killed a good amount of my units. Now that is a pain in the butt, but the Moltres gets down there and helps out the Eagle Bolt Thrower. I think at some point I do end up pushing out the Eagle Bolt Thrower from that entire area whatsoever. It's not worth it. It's not worth it whatsoever. Come on, staying over there, getting your ass killed. Right next to, like, Dark Elves. Turned into slaves. Not worth it, dude. Not worth it. Go to sleep. Take a nap. It doesn't matter too much. We do end up breaking them a little bit, but man, we are losing units like fast. The left side's completely collapsed, the right side's pushing in a little bit more, but we're still losing more and more units, especially since the fact that they have like a lot of archers at their disposal. And they have that one leader that's like tying up everybody. My archers are doing okay, but I don't think my archers are as good as their archers, so there's like a tier list and I'm just failing that tier list right now. I also don't think the Eagle, or not the Eagle, I don't think the Phoenix was a good matchup against Spearmen. Obviously, due to a lot of factors, most notably that Spears are good against giant birds. One good thing, however, is that my leader is really strong, so I'm just using him to smack down on some guys. But you're going to see like unit rallying and unit fleeing quite often in this game, actually. My units are just knee-deep in Dark Elf. Oh, some zoom in right there. So there is some zoom in. Alright, I'm a little bit of a liar. There's some. Boy, I kept some of my Phoenix bombs. Oh well. My objective is to just keep the Eagle Bolt Thrower alive. Their infantry units are alive. The Eagle Bolts are not.
Understood.
Smacking my Phoenix onto archer brigades is pretty useful, considering that I could just tie those guys up and have them not fire at me. Easy peasy. So yeah, this battle was fucking close as hell. I was surrounded by 2 armies, and then on top of this, I almost lost like a good amount of my forces, actually. In fact, I do lose a good amount of my forces in this one. Just managing to keep my guys like barely alive and shit, obviously. Look at that bird guy. Look at him go. Go, bird guy. Do your thing, bird guy.
Heir of Anarian. For duty.
And I think now at this point I go to 4 times speed because I'm so nervous. I don't really want to do anything anymore. I just want to see myself fail or succeed so I can try again. Look at that bird guy going at it. Look at him go. My goal now is to just keep my units alive and try to focus fire on his units as much as possible. His leader is dead, but like it doesn't really matter because his units have just a lot more morale than my units, and they're a lot healthier than my units. So as soon as I go in and attack, my units end up breaking soon after, which is kind of unfortunate. It is how the cookie like breaks apart, and I forgot the saying. I'm so fucking tired. I forgot saying some popular shit like how the cookie crumbles. There's the 4 times speed. Yep, just a bunch of scary, oh, I'm scared, blah 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 type shit. Trying to get the Phoenix to fight it out with peeps. Going after the leader again. Look at how many little units there are on the map right now. It's like the Total War MOBA game that they announced. I really wanted this leader to just die as soon as possible.
Eager for battle.
But I didn't want the Phoenix to die.
The enemy is charging!
And now they finally break. And it was not a moment too soon, because they could have just like run me down. I would have lost easy peasy. It was really like down the wire Lord sniping type shenanigans going down. I'm not really a big fan of Lord sniping, but it does make sense, especially with these armies with low loyalty. Or armies like the Undead where they just break apart without the Lord, which makes sense. It makes a whole lot of fucking sense. Alright, so Preferred Victory happens, and let me go ahead and end this part. Alright, now we continue with the last part of the High Elf campaign. So, continuing to just chill out, won the Preferred Victory, won the battle, finally expunged the Dark Elves from this territory. Actually, I've only expunged the armies of the Dark Elves from this territory. You'll see pretty soon that we'll have just a large amount of like shit to do still, even if we've managed to clean up the rest of the shithole that is like this area here. So just a little bit of build up before the final battle. There should be like a very small garrison, but I end up actually fighting the battle just in case because I don't want to lose any units. So yeah, let me go ahead and just like take out this loading screen. Loading screens in this game aren't that bad. They're like a couple of seconds, but they could interrupt with the battle. So yeah, we're just getting right into the battle, and I have a plan to move all my units into the forest, that they're far away from the towers, and some of them can't be seen, and you know, just some good shit there. Drop my guys up, move them over there, drop the Eagle Bolter, move it over there. My objective now is for the Phoenix to go Mission Impossible on these guys' asses, and then just like move in and dunk on these dudes. Because watch this, I'm just gonna carpet bomb them, like Iwo Jima. So, just going back into normal mode right here, and then going drop down the gigantic fort wall on these guys. Unfortunately, I do accidentally end up landing, and that, well, gets me to, well, basically kill off my Phoenix. Which, you know, I actually kind of raged a little bit, but then I realized, oh, wait a minute, it's a fucking Phoenix. It rises from the ground. Wow, and it's fresh and new. How many times can you do that? Is that like a one charge, or is that like a couple of charges? Because I basically have an invincible unit right here. So I do like one more carpet bombing. It does like a ton of damage and basically wipes out the unit. And then like the last carpet bombing seals the deal. And that would be it for that battle. It was a really easy battle actually. And we end up taking it all to the game. Right. So finally, the Dark Elves have been completely extinguished, and I'm left here just like playing my thumbs and shit like that. I'm gonna let the rest of the game play out, and I'll see you guys next time. If you want to see more, let me know. Bye-bye.
What would you have of me?